consciousness, a word that feels both familiar and elusive. We experience it every waking moment, yet when we try to define it, it slips through our grasp like smoke. Ask 10 philosophers what consciousness is, and you may get 10 different answers. Ask neuroscientists, and they'll point to brain activity. Ask a poet, and they may describe it as the flame of life itself. But in the age of artificial intelligence, this old philosophical riddle takes on a new urgency. If machines are becoming smarter, faster, and seemingly more human, we must ask, do they have consciousness? Could they ever? And most importantly, how would we even know? To begin this journey, we first need to understand what consciousness actually means. In this first episode, we'll explore 3 questions. How has consciousness been defined in philosophy? How is consciousness different from intelligence? And what are the recognized levels of consciousness in living beings? At its core, most definitions of consciousness converge on a single idea. It is the subjective experience of being alive. It's the inner world where sensations, emotions, and thoughts arise. When you feel pain, taste sweetness, or wonder about the meaning of life, that is consciousness at work. Yet this simple description hides centuries of debate. Different philosophical schools have tried to capture what consciousness truly is. Dualism. Famously argued by René Descartes, dualism claims that the mind and the body are separate substances. The mind is non-material, while the body and brain are physical. Consciousness, in this view, is something that cannot be reduced to neurons or chemical reactions. It is a different kind of substance altogether. Materialism. In sharp contrast, materialism argues that consciousness is nothing more than the workings of the physical brain. Every thought, feeling, and dream can be explained as the firing of neurons, the flow of electricity, the dance of chemicals. Consciousness, then, is not a mystery. It is simply biology. Panpsychism. A more radical perspective, panpsychism suggests that consciousness is a fundamental property of the universe. Just as gravity and electromagnetism exist everywhere, so too does consciousness, in some form. According to this view, even the tiniest particles may carry some spark of experience. Functionalism. A modern perspective especially relevant in the age of AI. Functionalism argues that consciousness is not about what something is made of, but how it functions. If a system can process information, integrate experiences, and respond in the right ways, whether it's made of neurons or silicon chips, then it could be said to be conscious. Each of these schools points us toward different ways of answering the big question. What does it mean to be conscious? One of the most common confusions is to equate consciousness with intelligence. But the two are not the same. Intelligence refers to the ability to learn, reason, solve problems, and adapt. It is about calculation, prediction, and logic. Artificial intelligence systems today excel in this domain. They can defeat humans at chess, translate languages, compose music, or generate complex images. Consciousness, however, is about subjective experience. It's about what it feels like to see the color red, to enjoy music, to feel sadness or joy. Intelligence can exist without any inner awareness. A machine may calculate the trajectory of a rocket or compose a poem without ever feeling what it's like to do so. Imagine this: a self-driving car can navigate traffic, predict pedestrian movement, and respond in milliseconds. It is intelligent by many definitions. But does it know that it is driving? Does it feel nervous when rain blurs the road? Or proud when it completes a journey safely? The answer, as far as we can tell, is no. This distinction is crucial when we think about AI. Machines may become incredibly intelligent, perhaps even surpassing human intelligence, yet still remain unconscious. And here lies the tension. If a machine tells us, "I am conscious," should we believe it? Or is it simply executing a sophisticated program without any true awareness? Philosophers and scientists often describe consciousness as existing in levels or layers. Understanding these levels helps us see how consciousness may differ across species, and why attributing consciousness to machines is such a complex issue. Primary consciousness. This is the most basic level. It includes awareness of the environment, immediate sensations, and simple responses. Many animals possess this. A cat feels hunger, enjoys warmth, and reacts to danger. But it does not reflect on the meaning of its existence. Reflective consciousness. This higher level allows beings to think about themselves. It's the ability to ask, "Who am I? What am I doing? How do others see me?" Humans demonstrate this capacity clearly. We not only experience the world, we think about our experience. Higher order consciousness. At this level, we go beyond reflection to imagination, creativity, long-term planning, and identity. We weave stories about who we are, we create art and science, and we build cultures. This is consciousness at its richest expression. Neuroscience adds another layer of classification by examining states of consciousness: wakefulness, dreaming, deep sleep, anesthesia, even altered states through meditation or psychedelics. Each state corresponds to unique patterns in brain activity. When we look at AI through this lens, it becomes clear. While machines can process information and mimic certain aspects of intelligence, there is no evidence that they experience even the most basic level of consciousness. They have no inner world, no sensations, no feelings, no subjective perspective. So what is consciousness? At its simplest, it is the subjective experience of being alive. Philosophers have debated it for centuries. Is it a separate substance, a property of matter, a universal force, or simply a function of complex systems? What we do know is that consciousness is distinct from intelligence. Intelligence is about solving problems. Consciousness is about feeling existence. We also know that consciousness comes in levels, from basic awareness to self-reflection, to higher order thought. And at least for now, no artificial intelligence has reached any of these levels. But as AI continues to evolve, the question will grow louder. Could a machine ever develop true consciousness? And if it did, how would we recognize it? Would we even be able to tell the difference between simulated awareness and genuine inner life? In our next episode, we'll take on this provocative question. Can machines be conscious? And if so, what would that mean for humanity? Join us as we continue to explore the profound mystery of mind and machine,